You didn't create your personality, somebody manufactured it for you. See, you are a product. You are the end result of an assembly line you never knew you were even on. Running on software you didn't write, defending a life you didn't even choose. And underneath everything you call you are 5 forces that built everything. Now, not metaphorically, I mean this quite literally. 5 systems that decided how you think, what you believe, what you want, and what you're afraid to even question. Today in this episode, we name them. Not by what they claim to be, not by the story they sold you, not by the polished version they wanted you to believe, by what they actually did to you. Let's get into it. Now, I'm going to tell you something most people don't like to hear. People will spend their entire lives violently defending a cage they were born into. They will bleed for beliefs they've inherited. They will die on top of hills they didn't even pick. They will look you dead in the eye and tell you exactly who they are, completely aware that they're just reciting a script. Almost none of it is yours. It was installed by the 5 systems of control, and these systems knew exactly what they were doing. So let's go ahead and unpack them one by one. Let's strip away the illusion. School was never about enlightenment. You see, in 1852, Massachusetts made school mandatory. By law, you didn't have a choice. Why is that? Because Horace Mann, the architect of American public education, looked at the Prussian military, an institution designed to mass produce mindless, obedient soldiers, and he said, yeah, let's do that to children. He didn't even hide it. He bragged about it. You see, school was never built to teach you how to think. It was built to teach you how to obey. Sit in a row, raise your hand, wait for the bell to ring like Pavlov's dog. Regurgitate the answers the authority figure demands. You see, that's 12 years of conditioning every single day. And you wonder why you hesitate when it's time to trust your gut. You see, you weren't born that way. You were trained out of it. Now, this isn't an attack on God. This is an autopsy of an institution. You see, faith is intimate. But organized religion is a corporation. It has real estate, tax exemptions, an insatiable appetite for control. For centuries, the church didn't just suggest how to live, they monopolized the truth. In medieval Europe, questioning the narrative wasn't a debate, it was a death sentence. In 1215, the Fourth Lateran Council made annual confessions mandatory. You were legally required to surrender your most private, intimate thoughts to an agent of that institution. They judged you. They decided if you were acceptable. Over generations, it reshapes the psyche. Your inner world starts feeling private, and guilt starts becoming the baseline. And trust in yourself gets replaced with the belief that you need someone else to stand between you and the divine. So you didn't inherit that from the universe. You inherit it from the empire desperate to maintain power. In 1920, there were fewer than 1,000 radios in America. By 1930, there were 13 million. In 10 years, 13 million families were sitting in their living rooms, voluntarily letting a single centralized voice pump narratives directly into their brains, while their guard were completely down. The people holding the microphones understood the weapon they just invented. Then came television. It was surgical. They didn't just tell you what to think, they showed you what to crave. What a successful family looked like, what you needed to buy to not feel empty. Nielsen ratings weren't measuring entertainment, they were measuring human attention, and they sold your attention to the highest bidder. You didn't organically decide what you want out of life. You were programmed to want it by people who profit off your dissatisfaction. In 1917, the US government created the Committee on Public Information, and they had one job: brainwash the people in supporting World War I. They deployed 75,000 agents to stand up in theaters and churches to deliver a scripted propaganda. 75,000 agents deployed like a virus. This goes against everything that we stand for with democracy. See, this is the industrial manufacturing of consent, and they never stopped. During the Cold War, the CIA secretly funded the Congress for cultural freedom. They funded art books, they funded films, they funded general art. This isn't a conspiracy theory, this is declassified congressional fact. The government literally engineered culture to manipulate what you believed freedom looked like. You think your worldview is organic? Part of it is classified psychological warfare. Now, this is the deadliest one because it's invisible. Culture is the water you're drowning in. It's the normal you never question because everyone else is doing it. The 1950s American dream, the house, the lawn, the 2 cars, wasn't a natural human desire. It was a marketing campaign engineered by mortgage lenders, auto manufacturers, and appliance companies. They needed a society of rabid consumers. So they bought Hollywood, they bought the magazines, and they built a dream that required you to empty your pockets to achieve it. You are exhausting yourself chasing a life that was designed to extract from you, not fulfill you. You see, these 5 systems didn't need a whole secret meeting. Their incentives naturally aligned. School needed compliant workers. Religion needed guilty followers. Media needed addicted audiences. And government needed docile citizens. And culture needed mindless consumers. They're different parasites feeding off the same host. All of it leads to the same place, a population that mistakes compliance for character and calls it identity. And here's what they don't want you to realize. The moment that you see the strings, you stop being controlled by them. The person who never questions the script is trapped in the machine. But the moment you stop, the moment you actually look around and question it, the machine stops running you. Even though you didn't choose these 5 systems, you still get to decide what they mean and what to do with them. But sadly, most people will never do this. They will die wearing a mask someone else put on them, wondering why they've always felt suffocated. But you already know the mask doesn't fit, and that's why you're still watching. It all starts with you, not with the world, not with the system, not everyone else, you. Here's how I suggest doing this. I want you to question what you believe. I want you to interrupt what feels automatic. Pick one thing you would fight for, one thing that feels like an absolute bedrock, and ask yourself, where did this actually come from? Don't focus on the lie you tell yourself. Really trace the root. Be ruthless, because when you actually see it, it will break something. But that shattering isn't a crisis. It's the cage that shaped your whole life finally cracking. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If this episode woke you up, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. And it really helps this channel grow, and your support would mean a lot. And if someone popped into your head while watching this, share it with them. That's probably who needs to see this. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.